Hello. Okay, yeah, it's working fine. Okay, I should probably just ignore my control panel. It's mostly lies. Okay, now, hopefully, we can get Bride of Discord finished today. My mum's gone out, she's gone to the doctor's and she's going to the gym, which means she should be going for hours. So hopefully, I can get chapter 15, 16, 17 and 18 finished today, and then I can do Daughter of Discord. So look forward to that. And I'll also be giving out, I'll be putting out another thing before with sort of like different voices, so then people could decide, I can decide later on what kind of voices I want to use. So this is chapter 15, the Relapse. This is kind of a boring chapter. Kind of. How much did you hear? Every word, Discord growled between his teeth. You were eavesdropping? He ignored her question and turned away. You never intended in falling in love with me, did you? This was all just a business deal to you. But wasn't it a deal? To me it wasn't. The look he was giving her now made her shudder in terror. But you wouldn't... Oh. But you wouldn't expect someone like me to have feelings now, would you? Would you? Discord, I never said... You're right. I'm just an evil monster who's kept you prisoner. You're not a monster. I thought you were different. I thought you understood. Discord, I do understand. Yet you never wanted to marry me. All you ever thought was about your friends. He said that word as if it were poison. She scowled. I had no choice. You were going to kill the princesses. Draconica was just taken aback. Kill? Kill? You thought I was going to kill the princesses? Including one who was pregnant? But you said... So I exaggerated a bit, but you actually thought I would do such a thing? Fluttershy's lip quivered. I'm sorry. He turned away again. You don't have to say it. He felt betrayed. The one friend he ever had, who he had thought to be different, was just like all the rest. Fluttershy was devastated. His words stunned her as her words had him. She had to make amends, but what could she do? Unlike Discord, she could not make things better with a wave of her hand, or hoof, as the case was. She did not know where to start. Discord, if you had just listened to me... I should have known you would never care for me, he growled. You were just stalling, weren't you? Praying that your friends would come and rescue you, weren't you? Is that why you wanted them here? Discord, please. Those things I said, I didn't mean any of it. So you don't feel like a prisoner? Well, So you do want to marry me tomorrow? So you didn't just agree so you could just see your friends? So you do love me? She hung her head in shame. I do care for you, but... You don't love me. A tear fell down her cheek. No. He stepped toward the bed, his arms crossed. No. How could you? I'm just a big bad Draconicus who forced you into the marriage. Discord, I didn't. My friends. I can't believe it. After everything I've done for you, you still pick them over me. Well, my dear, you were right about one thing. Fluttershy gasped as he magically lifted her into the air by the ring, bringing them face to face. You have no say in the matter. Love me or not, you will be mine. For the first time in weeks, she was truly afraid of him. But she tried to be brave. And I have no argument over that. But Discord, you have to understand that I only said those things because I panicked. I was afraid of what my friends would think, and I didn't know you were listening. You shouldn't have been listening. Still, it was no excuse for my insensitivity. She squealed as he dropped her to the floor and turned away. Why did she not love him? Why did she still listen to those ponies? Those ponies had ruined everything. Wait, he thought, the gears turning in his brain. Those ponies. He chuckled darkly to himself. Oh, my poor naive Fluttershy. He knelt down to pick her up. Forgive me for being so brash, my sweet. I don't blame you. Fluttershy blinks at him in confusion. You don't? Oh no, you're not at fault here. You've just fallen victim to the real monsters here. Those nasty friends of yours. She flew out of his arms in a huff. My friends aren't nasty. He chuckled again, patting her in the head. Of course you'd say that, naive as you are. Naive? Oh, don't take it personally, my dear. You just fail to see the truth when it's right in front of you. He ran a finger under her chin. But don't worry, darling. We'll fix that. Something about his tone alarmed her. Her hat was raised and his face drew closer, her head telling her to run. Now listen here, my dear. I've made you happy, right? She nodded slowly. Yes. I've treated you well, have I not? You have. I've comforted you, gone out of my way to make you smile, and granted your every wish, yes? That is correct. And in all of that, have I ever hurt you intentionally? No, not really, but... You see? You know I'm not a monster. You're not a monster? Yes, she shivered as he caressed her cheek. I'm your only real friend here. Those ponies out there. He tilted his head toward the door. They don't understand how happy we are. How happy we could be. Fluttershy was growing suspicious. What are you? She trailed off as he began stroking her mane. As usual, his tender touch shut down her senses. But something about this touch was especially mesmerizing. But all she thought about was how much she was enjoying it. Discord grinned mischievously, seeing that it was working. But he had a long way to go. He laid his free hand on her shoulder. I want you, Fluttershy, he whispered. I want you by my side for all eternity. Not just because we made a deal. I don't want just any mare. I want you. She tried to say something, but all that came out was, huh? Why don't we stop playing games, my dear? I know that deep down this is what you want. What? She stepped out of her trance for a moment, but sank back into it as he ran his claw down her spine. Picture it, my dear. You, sitting on a glorious throne, a majestic crown on your radiant head, overlooking a world of chaos. Fluttershy shook her head. World of chaos? Oops, wrong thing to say. He quickly moved behind her, massaging her shoulders, mesmerizing her again. She was never easy to manipulate, and he hated doing this. But he had to help her see the truth. A simple touch would not be enough. He had to do the full temptation. He had to think of something to lure her in, something she would not be able to resist. Yes, he improvised. The world will be at your disposal, my sweet. I can offer you the one thing you've always desired. Her eyes were opened wide, seeing that he had gotten her attention. He turned her head so the gaze was locked. Love, he whispered. Fluttershy stared into his eyes, unable to blink. What? He nodded. I love you. You do? That's right, my dear. At that moment, his eyes transformed into hypnotic spirals. You don't need your friends. All we need is each other. We'll be together forever for all eternity. Together forever for all eternity? She repeated. Yes, he chuckled. So what do you say, my dear? Will you be my queen of chaos? Fluttershy showed no resistance as her eyes changed to match his. Yes, my love, she said mechanically. Meanwhile, every pony aside from the Apple sisters was sitting in the main hall, wondering what to do. Rainbow was the first to break the silence. Fluttershy's been in there an awfully long time. Should we see if she's alright? We should let her be. Twilight. That's not Twilight. Books! We should let her be, Twilight said. Maybe we were too harsh on her. I suppose we did get a little carried away, Rarity mused. Applejack. Spike. Ah! Applejack looked pretty upset too, Spike. And that's not Spike. It's hard to do Spike as well. As soon as you like get days off, you forget the voices. It's difficult. Applejack looked pretty upset too, Spike added. I'm going to check on her. I'm not sure that's a good idea, Twilight warned. Is this... Yeah, okay, this is probably Spike still. Look, I understand why Fluttershy's upset, but Applejack just blew us off for no reason. I've never seen her like this. Well, okay, go ahead. And I'm checking on Fluttershy, Rainbow insisted. Nobody had any objection as the Dragon and Pegasus went in opposite directions. Rainbow was about to knock on the door when she heard voices. It didn't take long to figure out who they belonged to. What's Disco doing in Fluttershy's room? She assumed the worst, but stopped herself from breaking down the door. Instead, she opened it slightly and quietly peeked inside. Quietly peeked inside, where am I? I can't find where I am! There I am. Her jaw dropped at what she saw. The Draconicus had his arms around Fluttershy, both their eyes filled with spirals. There was no doubt what was happening. Now, Disco said, running a claw under her chin, you will go out there and tell those ponies to leave this place and never come back. Rainbow burst the door open, surprising the Draconicus. I knew it! This isn't what he looks like. You monster! She charged towards him, but Disco was quick and summoned a brick wall for her to slam into. What's going on in there? Twilight Sparkle called, appearing in the doorway. She gasped when she saw the blue Pegasus lying unconscious under a pile of newly fallen bricks. Rainbow, what? Twilight, Fluttershy said, still under Disco's influence. I want you to leave this place and never come back.